This is great. Steel cage action coming up here, guys.
And I have to say, ever since WrestleMania 2, this match has been one of my favorites in all of WWE.
The Beast is here!
The most decorated combat athlete in history. Brock Lesnar is hazardous to your health.
You know, the night after WrestleMania back in 2015, Brock Lesnar F5'd me out of my shoes on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I remember that one.
You know what, Byron? It really made my career because you replaced me on play-by-play and the world realized how bad you were and how good I was on that night. So in a weird sort of way, I thank Brock Lesnar for that.
That is kind of weird. But I've talked to a lot of superstars who have faced Brock Lesnar, and there is one common denominator between them all. They say once you are in the ring with Brock Lesnar, you are never the same.
Because you go to Suplex City. Stay right where you are, people. Brock Lesnar is looking to further his unmatched legacy of the only man to hold championships in the NCAA, WWE, IWGP in Japan, and the UFC.
Look at him, locked inside that cage like a couple of rabid animals.
Brock Lesnar still enters every match as the odds-on favorite.
Yeah, I would never predict a Lesnar loss, Saxton, because you can enter Suplex City, but you will never come out the same.
Look at the power on display with that gut-wrench suplex. Got the arm. From what we've seen and heard tonight, there must be serious injuries. We're witnessing a level of punishment that can only be described as severe. Challenger starting to falter, but he certainly comes into this championship match with a ton of momentum. Pendulum backbreaker.
Tick-tock.
Oh, this, what a headbutt. He's inflicting some serious pain here. When I look at Brock Lesnar, guys, even all these years later, one of the first things that comes to mind is that he is the man responsible for ending the Undertaker's historic WrestleMania undefeated streak after 21 consecutive victories. There's the Irish whip.
Brock Lesnar going to work now. The human body can only absorb so much of that.
Nice job by Brock Lesnar there. Lesnar did indeed end the dead man's WrestleMania undefeated streak, as Michael was saying. It was perhaps the most shocking event in WrestleMania history. Over 75.
He's going for the pin. No, they're not done yet. Not even close.
Not yet.
Down he goes, thanks to a vicious gut-wrench suplex.
The steel cage is a massive enclosure that stands 15 feet in height. For almost 35 years, a select group of high flyers have taken their aerial assaults to greater heights. And when I say that, I mean superstars climb to the top of the steel cage, the real high-rent district, and dive off onto their opponent. And that all started with one man in October of 1983. Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
To your point earlier, Byron, we've definitely seen some unbelievable attacks be launched from the top of the steel cage. And you mentioned the most iconic, the steel cage match for the Intercontinental Championship that saw Jimmy Superfly Snuka clash against bitter rival, the magnificent Morocco.
There's no denying that Superfly set the bar. You look over the years to people like Jeff and Matt Hardy, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and Chris Jericho. They continued to push the envelope and executed unbelievable attacks from the top of the cage. And watch Rikishi take flight off the top of the steel cage. Wow.
Oh, I think this man means business. Going for an encore here.
Oh, he's such a tough target. Look out, Irish whip.
He's inflicting some serious pain here.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
Lesnar.
There's a certain... There it is! Lesnar just put the exclamation point on this match!
Game over.
Just when you thought we were going to crown him.
His shoulders are down. Dug down deep and gets the shoulder up.
Might have slipped there, Cole.
If an opponent exhibits a weakness for a specific move, some will return to utilizing that move as long as possible.
You spoke about this earlier, Corey. It's crucial for a WWE superstar to fully understand the gravity of the situation they're in when they battle inside a 15-foot-high steel cage. An individual must be ready to endure pure brutality and be prepared for the fight of their life. No one leaves a steel cage match without scars.
Corey, you said something of value for once, and that anything is legal inside the steel cage. To that point, something else we've seen over the years is interference. Whether it's The Undertaker coming up through the ring or John Cena getting bashed in the head with the cage door from the outside, it's all legal in the cage.
Before 2017's Extreme Rules, there were just 3 previous tag team matches where championship gold was decided inside a steel cage in the history of WWE special events. The Hardy Boys were in 2 of those matches. At Extreme Rules, in order to win the match, both members of a team had to exit the cage and have both feet on the floor.
The Hardys used their famous continuity to gain the early advantage until Cesaro and Sheamus utilized their devastating power to slow the pace of the match down. Both teams battled atop the steel cage, but in the end, Sheamus and Cesaro won the race to the arena floor to become new Raw Tag Team Champions.
At the unleashing it for the second time now. Somebody stop this.
Not much is known about Brock Lesnar's life away from the bright lights and sold-out arenas of WWE. We do know that Lesnar's an avid outdoorsman who lives off the land and enjoys seclusion somewhere in the Great White North. Lesnar is proud of the fact that he lives miles away from his closest neighbor.
The offensive Brock Lesnar is working well right now.
If you're ever curious about, here's the cover. Oh, how resilient was that?
Can you believe what he's withstood here tonight?
Oh, I think this man means business.
The best way to describe combatants clashing inside a steel cage is its battle of attrition. Sometimes a superstar is left with no choice but to fight fire with fire and do whatever they need to do in order to win the match. And sometimes it comes down to a superstar doing whatever they need to do in order to survive.
The champion into the cover. Real close, too close for comfort.
He's still in this.
Byron, you touched on this earlier, but it's so important for a superstar to accept that there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide in a steel cage match. That the conflict will be resolved within the 15-foot-high steel walls that surround the ring. And that losing a cage match can mean much more than a mark in the loss column. For some, it is, there's a pin now.
The great ones always explode when they have the chance.
And he got a near fall out of it.
Look at the look on his opponent's face, Cole. He can't believe it.
Lesnar looking to fly.
In position for a power bomb.
And that's not a good place to be, Cole.
And a third time!
That's how you put an exclamation point on the end of a match, guys.
Guys, I'd say one of the most shocking moments in Brock Lesnar's career would have to be the night Paul Heyman betrayed him at Survivor Series 2002.
Lesnar.
F5. Oh, my.
Just when you thought he had
The champion into the cover. On the topic of Survivor Series,
The pinfall and the victory.
when you introduce the enclosure, everything is possible. What a match this was.
Oh, I can't believe this. Almost forgot about this one. Remember this? And finally,
wow, huge pinfall win here tonight.
That was simply a case of one guy determined to prove his dominance over another.
I think I can safely speak for all of us when I say that was an amazing contest.
Hey, did you enjoy that video? Don't forget to click on the screen for more professional wrestling games content here at Main Event Games. And if you enjoy our content, click that subscribe button. That way, you will support the channel and support me. Thank you!